Welcome back to the Saturday morning special. Today, I've got the Fender Toronado. It's a Squier. It's from the Paranormal series where they made a whole bunch of guitars that kind of combined different aspects of guitars that Fender normally didn't combine, and I don't think this series got enough love, so I'm giving it a little bit more, because I think this is a really cool guitar, and it's almost like a weird hybrid of if Fender had tried to make a Les Paul style guitar in terms of the electronics, but still kept the kind of vibe and feel of it feeling like a Fender. So, let's play a little bit, and then we'll talk about it some more. This is a really cool little guitar. Let's talk about this thing. It's got a poplar body, it's got a maple neck, standard business, but this fretboard is something called Indian Laurel, which I'm not familiar with, but it looks like very similar to rosewood, nice dark wood, slightly open grain. Yeah, it looks lovely. We got a 4-ply tortoiseshell pickguard, we got all the chrome hardware, we got the vintage tuners, we got the little nice shiny knobs with the nice grip on them. All seems good. And the pickups as well, nice and shiny. We like shiny, it's a good vibe. So, let's talk about the nerdy stuff. This guitar is 24 3/4 inches scale. It's got 22 frets. It's got a C-shaped neck, which is a particularly nice neck on this guitar. I'm not sure if they're all this nice, but this one is really, really good. 9.5 inch radius on the fretboard. Yeah, it plays really, really good. Looking at this guitar, it looks kind of weird maybe, but I really like it. It's really surprised me. So that's cool. I like to be surprised by guitars. I really like picking up guitars I don't think I'm gonna like, and then if I end up liking them, that's kind of like a win for me. You know, it's like when you have to sit next to some kid in class and you're not friends and you're like, I'd never be friends with that guy, but he ends up being your friend. That's how I feel about this sort of thing. Let's play a little bit more. Let's play some clean. That last bit was all on the bridge. Let's kick it up to the neck pickup and do some smooth noodlies. So, a couple more things I want to talk about with this guitar before I play a little bit more maybe and wrap it up. This bridge is a bridge that I've never seen anywhere else except for this thing. It's got this flat bit on here, which I would guess makes it a little bit tricky to get a screwdriver in there to adjust the intonation. However, when you're just playing, it gives you this really nice big area to rest your hand on, and it's super comfortable. And it looks quite neat as well. If you're like me, you like having something a little bit individual, a little bit unique, so it's a bit of a point of difference. So these pickups, they're called atomic humbuckers. Fender make them. They sound great. They're super hot, but they still maintain quite a lot of clarity, even under distortion, which I really, really like. And the really interesting thing about this guitar for me is that if I said to you, hey, I've got a guitar, 2 humbuckers, 24 3/4 inch scale, 2 volume, 2 tone, pickup selector that's up on the upper horn, you'd be like, that's a Les Paul. And you'd be wrong, because it'd be this. Let's say you want a Les Paul or an SG type thing, but you haven't been able to quite find the one that fits. Maybe you don't like either of those body shapes. Maybe they just don't speak to you. Maybe it's something about the headstock you don't like. Maybe you love Fender guitars, but you wish you had a really reliable 2 humbucker thing to play in your dad's classic rock band. That's a bit unkind. It might be your classic rock band. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. This is like the Fender Les Paul. I said, that's my vibe about this. I like Fender and I like Gibson, and I think it's really odd that this thing exists kind of halfway in the middle of those two, and I feel like no one ever really talked about it that much. It's really cool. It's comfortable. It feels like a Fender, mostly, but it sounds like a Gibson Les Paul type thing. It's still got a bit of that sort of Fender-y twang, but not as much as you'd maybe expect. Anyway, I think this is a cool guitar. As always, thanks to MusicWorks Albany for lending this one to me. When I post this, it's there, it's available, you can go buy it, it's on special. It was $1,000, which is already affordable, and it's down to $850. If you are after a really reliable 2 humbucker type guitar, I'd definitely have a look at this. It feels great and it's a lot of fun. And last week I really enjoyed playing a little bit more just to wrap up the video, so you can search for whatever thing you're going to work next with a little bit of a soundtrack. I'm going to put it on the middle position. We haven't done that yet. Go for some like moderate sort of distortion. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit of crunch. Yeah, just a little bit of grit, because I feel like this thing, although it does sound good clean, I feel like it thrives under a little bit of crunch. So we'll do that, and I'll see you next time.